Newsom says his science advisors tell him it's just not safe. The Board of Education here, elected people here in Orange County, say their science advisors say it is safe, and they want a court to tell Governor Newsom to open those doors. Anaheim High, one of some 600 schools in Orange County, serving about 500,000 students. If the Board of Education has its way, all the schools would be reopening for classes next month.
American Academy of Pediatrics recommends in-person learning.
Attorney Robert Tyler is speaking for board members who've said they've heard from the community, reviewed data, heard from medical experts. There's a greater risk to our children in not reopening. Parents are in the best position to make decisions for their children. You think it's safe to reopen?
Absolutely. You know, the medical doctors, the science shows that it is reasonably safe to reopen. There is, you know, we recognize that yes, there is the potential of COVID-19, spreading, but the risk is so small.
Okay. Thank you, sweetie.
For anxious parents still picking up meals every day at schools here, the idea of reopening, well, there are pros and cons.
Well, to be honest, I don't want them to be open until my kids are safe.
Safety the first. So, but I'm worried about my kids are not socializing. So that's another thing.
So back live now, we checked with the governor's office response to this planned lawsuit. He said, hey, our decisions are based on science and that the courts have long recognized the governor's authority to issue these kinds of emergency orders. And one attorney that I spoke with, not related to this case, Ellis and Christine, he agreed that this legal maneuver would be a long shot.
Because all the governor needs to demonstrate to the court is that there is a rational basis for this order. And certainly he will be able to argue that with the COVID pandemic, trying to protect teachers while still allowing children to be educated, albeit remotely and virtually, that's not a violation of any of the rights. They are getting educated just in a different way.
And here's the thing, Ellis and Christine, whatever the Board of Education does or doesn't do, it really is not binding. As we've been reporting since the beginning of COVID, decisions about reopening school districts are made at the local level, and they do not tell the 27 different school districts here in Anaheim, here in Orange County, rather, what to do. So in a sense, they're making a largely symbolic statement. Live in Anaheim, I'm Phil Schuman. Ellis, Christine.
And there have been a lot of lawsuits against the governor. Not one of his orders have been overturned since